Everybody, King Caleb Special Edition, back at it again. We're doing my favorite group, receivers. I can go on for hours with this class, as past like 8 classes I could. Receivers is my favorite position, obviously. Played it in high school. Not very good, we won't talk about it. But we're gonna just start off with my honorable mentions, because I have about 20 more honorable mentions. You know, we can go Bo Melton, we can go Austin Jr. from Notre Dame, Dontario Drummond at Ole Miss. There's so many guys I could keep going on, but we're gonna start with Jaquarii Roberson out of Wake Forest. Good balanced receiver, no elite traits, that's why he's down this low. I think a team could pick him up. I think all these receivers can be drafted, if not even more that I'm not mentioning. So if there's someone who you don't see on this list, don't worry, I still love them. I like all these guys, some more than others, but I can still see all of them succeeding in the right fit. But yeah, Roberson helped Wake Forest quite a bit in their 10-plus win season. Good hands, good route runner, just no elite traits, that's why he's back here. Then we got Reggie Roberson Jr. out of SMU, no relations. I looked it up, trust me. Liked Reggie a lot. Thought he was going to come out last year, but he came back for senior year as I'm hiccuping from some tortellini, whatever, macaroni, spaghetti shit I had earlier. But yeah, good speed, good quickness, good routes. He has an injury history. That's why he's not as highly scouted as other receivers in this fucking list. But yeah, I'm definitely higher on him than a lot of people. And then speaking of higher or lower, I'm lower on Wan'Dale Robinson out of Kentucky. Great athlete, good speed. He just doesn't have this big route tree that you would like to see. Not good contested catcher. He's more of a slot guy, screen guy, intermediate route guy, which has a place for it, and he can succeed obviously in a system. Would not be surprised. But Kyle Phillips at UCLA, he's one of my sleepers. Good, crisp route runner, one of the better route runners in this whole draft, really. Typical slot white guy, let's be real. But he has a good role, very Hunter Renfrow-ish, Julian Edelman. If the Patriots get him, watch out, because he's going to, produce for them in a little easy mac with the cheesy passes. So, Phillips I like a lot. Khalil Shakur, people can like more. I liked him more watching him. He has a good catch radius, good hands. Not the best route runner, but a solid athlete nonetheless, who I think can produce in a wide spread offense. Cardinals is a team that screams to me when I look at him, but kind of reminds me of Tyron Wallace just a little bit. Not the deep threat ability, so maybe not at all. But Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati, a lot of people are high on him. Since the pro days in the NFL, the combine, he ran a good fast 40. I'm not as high on him as other people are because of that. I like the film. He has good separation, or not good separation necessarily, good contested catching ability, good frontline speed, I guess. He's not in-game fast at all, so it's kind of like the reverse of some people. But good sure hands. He could definitely be a nice wide threat for someone who needs an X receiver. Put him on an island. He'll stack corners, get some space. Then we got Christian Watson, who I think's the opposite, who's game speed faster than old Pierce, but he has a catching concern, you can say, I guess. Not a consistent catcher, which should be a high thing for people. That's why I have him lower on the list than a lot of people, because he is a very good, talented athlete specimen, if you will. So you'll see him in a lot of top 10 picks. Don't be surprised if he, our top 10 rankings, don't be surprised if he sneaks in the first round. But project player, but he can be developed and put in a good system. Then we got Calvin Austin the third, good little speedster. Tyreek Hill light, small guy, speedy. Tyreek Hill very light, kind of Jalen Darden out of Tulane last year. Kind of reminds me of him. Yeah, good speed guy, outside guy though. For a guy his size, he primarily plays on the outside. You could probably put him in the slot, but he good footwork, good release on the outside, so I could see him sneaking into like the second round. Then we got Jalen Tolbert, South Alabama, good hands, good separator, good contested catch guy, catch radius, pretty good balanced all-around receiver. Sleeper, coulda, shoulda, woulda put him in the top 10, but there's just so many great talents in this draft. And then John Mechie III out of Bama, again reliable, sure-handed receiver, good route runner, does everything well. Maybe not elite in these aspects, but and he's coming off an injury, but I think he's going to produce quite well for a team. He'd be a great slot guy, so that's my honorable mentions as we go with number 10, Sky Moore out of Western Michigan. The size and weight and all that stupid shit. Got him as a second-round pick. Yeah, man, elusive, good release, good footwork. Good at that. Good hands. Not a big route tree. So it's not that he's like terrible at route running itself. It's just that he didn't do too many routes in college. Just a lot of screens and slants and goes and all that. Not good catch radius either because he's not that big of a size frame. I've got a Sterling Shepard comp. Again, people, these comps aren't 100%. There could be other things that you see in their games that might be this player. He's kind of like this. I won't, not not arguing with you guys there. Very shifty receiver. Could play in the slot. Could play outside a little bit. NFL, we'll see. With the tight coverages that he's not really used to. So, Sky Moore. Number 9 for me, and only me, because you won't see him in any list, any top 10 list, is Justin Ross out of Clemson. Projection, not what I would draft him as, but got him as a 4th or 6th round pick. I think that's where he would be drafted because of his injury history. But if you watch his first couple years, if you remember before the injuries, he was touted as a 1st round pick with Trevor Lawrence and T. Higgins. They were just balling out, one of the better receiving tandems I've seen in college. Very good route runner for his size, great catch radius, can snag any pass near him. Needs to clean up his release game, and for a big guy, his physicality is not that big. His ceiling, I almost think, is almost A.J. Brown-esque, but saw Marvin Jones Jr. comp, which is very good, because, again, the injuries, I feel like, and then the team really giving him a chance is how good he's going to be, because I've liked him for a long time now, and if it wasn't for the injuries, he'd be ranked higher. He'd be ranked in everyone's top 10 list, and he'd probably be my top 5, really. I think he's that good. I will bet on him and his injuries, So, I want to be somewhat realistic and have him at 9, but he's definitely a sleeper for me. Whoever picks him in the later rounds who needs a receiver, they could potentially have a starter for a long time if he stays healthy, which is a big if. That's why he's not being talked about really at all. But number 8, David Bell out of Purdue. Got him another 2nd round pick. These receivers are gonna go off the board quite quickly. 2nd round pick, great footwork, great release, great route running, sure hands. He doesn't have elite speed, and then strength is almost non-existent. We got a Zay Jones comp, if you remember him coming out of ECU. He's now blossoming later in his career. I see similarities. Again, these aren't fully accurate, but it's the closest thing that I could think of without overhyping him or making him completely terrible. Zay Jones had a great skill set coming out of college, so that's why I gave him that comp. Like him a lot. I love all these guys a lot. Drake London, though, who I don't love as much as everyone else. You've seen him, usually he's always in the top 5 no matter what. Sometimes first receiver, second, third, fourth, any of those. I got him at 7th because he just doesn't, I don't know. He could be the bust. He doesn't have elite route running. He doesn't separate, doesn't have the speed or the release. Great hands, though. Good catch radius, very physical receiver. That's why I compared him to N'Keal Harry coming out of Arizona, who that year for me, N'Keal was the #1 receiver coming out of the draft. Obviously, I'm not making that mistake again. Very good in the slot, though, London is, especially his first couple years there, which makes me think that maybe the Patriots should put N'Keal at a slot, but we're not. This isn't a video for him. I just don't see the Brandon Marshall, the star elite receiver in him yet. Like, let him develop. What a quarterback and a coordinator. I can trust him, put him in the right system. I mean, people are probably going to reach, but I mean, a team like the Jets, I think it'd be a good fit for him. Falcons, maybe Eagles. That range. He's gonna get drafted in the first round just because he's so athletic. But I feel like he needs to just polish up on the skill part of football. But yeah, I like him though. I do like him. I just don't have him as high as many other people. Number 6, George Pickens. Now he's kind of. No, I think he's different. I don't think he's a slot guy at all. So again, another 6th round or 2nd round guy. Good catch radius, good release for a big guy. He lacks the elite speed and the separation that you want, but he can go up and get it. He reminds me of T. Higgins a lot. A good but not great athlete, but he does just enough at everything. Again, injury history with the ACL, I believe. That's the thing for a lot of these peak guys. So that's why some I put more stock in, some I don't, because I just trust them enough. He's just a great athlete coming out of. Well, not great. I just fucking said earlier that he was not elite, but a very good athlete coming out of high school. He just makes big plays, man. Anytime he's on the field, for the limited times he was, I think I've seen a little bit more out of him than London, so that's why. If you guys have a completely different order, I would not disagree with you guys. Like I said, I like all these guys a lot. Treylon Burks out of Arkansas, I got him as a first-round pick, as most people do. Great power, great strength. Ball skills are incredible. Sure hands, can stack receivers. Just like Sky Moore, his route tree was limited. Just screens, slants, go routes. He doesn't have that long elite speed like downfield. He's good sideline to sideline, but I wouldn't say he has that elite speed. He ran away from Alabama a couple times in that game, but I don't see the elite speed. Like other people we're gonna talk about. So that's why there's a Laviska Shenault comparison, because he was more power and shiftiness than he was just quick. Coming out of Colorado, and his route running tree was very short, but he's very physical and good after the catch. That's why there's an A.J. Brown comparison. He's not as fast as Debo. That's why I don't compare him to him, but I really think he's gonna shine well in any. As long as the coordinator trusts his skill set and molds the offense to help him. I feel like I don't see him failing in this league. Number 4, Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. I'm probably higher on him than a lot of people. 1st to 2nd round pick. Again, one of the teams in the later 20s that need a receiver. Packers, Titans, Chiefs, could sneak and get him. Great footwork, great release, great route running again. Sure hands, catch radius. He killed Sean Wade, as an Ohio State fan. So I've seen firsthand what he can do. He lacks the physicality and strength that you might want out of a X or Z receiver, but I think you can make do with what his skill set is and put him in situations. I got a good Emmanuel Sanders comp. I mean, that's just what he was for his prime. Great route runner, reliable hands. So love Jahan a lot. Number 3, we got Jameson Williams out of Bama. Got him as a first-round pick, even with the injury. He's too good, man. He's too good. Burner, good speed, great footwork, great long routes. Underrated route runner, I feel like, but his cons are his strength and then his release off the ball. Not too creative with it, and sometimes can get jammed up. So we'll see if that translates in the NFL. But Deshaun Jackson is the comp because he's as good as a deep ball receiver I've seen coming out of college. Just burn you, catch it, go to the house. Love him a lot. Loved him with Ohio State. Wasn't gonna hate on him because he went to Bama, because this is what he is, and I'm glad he got his shine. 2, I got Chris Olave, who, again, he's all over the place too in the top 5. You'll rarely see him this high. Might be biased. Crucify me if you want. It's okay. I'm not gonna argue with you. But as a guy who's seen him and Garrett Wilson every game they played, I feel like I have a good understanding of him. Just amazing footwork. Arguably the best route runner in this whole draft. Great speed as well. People are hating on his speed, like he did a 4.3 in the combine, and then he's damn near even faster in game speed. Great deep ball guy. He's not strong at all. He's not going to help you in the blocking game. Those are the knocks. He's not a great run after the catch guy, but he's not terrible like some people are saying, like it's non-existent. Like he caught screen passes, would get first downs. He had that long run after the catch against Minnesota this year. Terry McLaurin is a good comp. Coming from the same system, coach from Heartline, they do play quite similar. So I can see that being a perennial great number 2 to number 1 receiver, depending on the team. And then number 1, I got Garrett Wilson, who I've been high on ever since he came into Ohio State. I said he's the most talented receiver I've seen come out of the school, and that says a lot. Catch radius is insane. Watch the 2019 Clemson game where he just jumps over Kendrick, I believe. Great route runner, too. If you really watch it, he does have footwork inconsistencies, which is a con because he's a little sloppy sometimes on release and gets too excited on cuts and whatnot, if you want to nitpick. But he will just break ankles route running. Sure hands. He's had some drops, but it's more focused drops and, like turning upfield and, wanting to make a play. I don't believe that's going to be a problem, but if it is, he's going to clean it up. Again, the strength isn't really there. Great after the catch, though. I got the Stephon Diggs comparison, because Stephon's one of the best route runners. Underrated hands, underrated contested catcher guy. Contested catcher guy, folks. But yeah, I love this receiving core a lot. I really do. So this has been King Kaleb here with the receivers. I'll be back with tight ends and linemen, guard, centers, and then tackles. I'll have them all bunched up. Then I'll have the whole D-line linebackers bunched up in the secondary. To close it out for you guys before I do my fucking preview predictions, my mock draft bullshit. This is your boy King Kaleb here, signing the fuck out.